Today's country 94.1 down the Central Coast. Current temperature 19.1 degrees in Gosford, 17.8 degrees in Norah Head, 3 minutes past 2, and you're listening to Rock That Country with Kylz. We're going to play an Aaron Daniels song now. The song, Long Hard Road, and we'll be talking to Aaron Daniels straight after the song.
Down this long and lonely highway, sitting on $1.10 most all the way. I hear a voice on the radio singing all the songs I know. I'm hanging for some real company. Hey, hey, these rusty wheels keep turning over. Man, this old truck's seen better days. I've crossed every state line, all roads of every kind, and divided all the truck stops on the way. I could tell you stories and swear they'd all be true. Seen red skies over Alice as the storm began to brew. So ring is getting tired as the miles pass us by, but I'm betting we'll be together till I die. It's a long, hard road when you're doing it alone. There's a lifetime of good memories that I can call my own. Places I've been and seen and all the good friends in between. What made me the man I am today? Working this country's roads to make my pay. I'm taking a break at a roadhouse out of Sydney. It's 3 a.m., my eyes are hanging low. I order coffee, take a seat as I flip through a magazine. I'd hit a caffeine and I'll be good to go. Then the friendly owner strikes up conversation. Son, why'd you choose to live this life? Have you ever wanted change the way your story's told? Step out of that truck and break your daddy's road. And I said I could tell you stories and swear they'd all been true. Seen red skies over Alice as the storm began to brew. Mister, it ain't easy. Hard nights I've had a few. There's nothing else in this world I'd rather do. It's a long, hard road when you're doing it alone. There's a lifetime of good memories that I can call my own. Places I've been and seen and all the good friends in between. What made me the man my daddy'd say was the kind of man this country needs today. Lord knows I've done a lot of miles. There's a few more to go yet. It's a long, hard road when you're doing it alone. There's a lifetime of good memories that I can call my own. Places I've been and seen and all the good friends in between. What made me the man my daddy'd say was the kind of man this country needs today.
Oh yes, got to be one of my all-time favourite country rock songs. The Aaron Daniels Band are a lively, energetic and hard-hitting six-piece country rock group from Melbourne, Australia. Aaron Daniels started the band with rhythm guitarist Dave Watson in 2003, together with Lucas Woodward, Dan Ebbels on lead guitar, Jeff Stokes on bass and Andy Gillies on the drums. The band has gone from strength to strength due to hard touring, building strong support throughout country Victoria, New South Wales and Central Queensland, as well as radio attention throughout Australia, Europe and the US. Their unique blend of country, rock and blues, coupled with great original songwriting styles, has seen them make a very quick rise to prominence. We have Aaron Daniels on the phone. Welcome, Aaron.
How you going, Kylie?
I'm doing very well, thank you. Thank you for having a chin wag to me today. That's great. How have you been?
Problems. I've been good. We've been busy down here writing on a new album, so putting together a few new songs, and the whole playing side for the band has been put on hiatus temporarily while we're writing. I think it's about time a new album came out. So
do you do the majority of the writing, Aaron?
I do most of the songwriting, lyrics, and just essentially putting the melody together. As a band, we finish the songs off.
Yeah, great. So how do you put a song together, Aaron? Are you one of those guys who can just write a song in 3 minutes, or is it a long project?
Look, it depends. There's a few of the songs there. For instance, "Time Waits for No One" was a song that was written in about 2 hours. Off the album, but generally I would say there's probably a bit more pain and effort goes into most of them than a couple of hours.
Yeah. Although you did just say you wrote one in 2 hours. That's amazing. So what you are writing some songs for the album. So when you do write them, do you say to yourself, because I'm very interested in the songwriting process, so do you say to yourself, I'm going to write a song about love, or I'm going to write a song about my ute, or does it just come to you? Like, I'm fascinated with the whole thing.
I think generally, look, I run a concreting business down here as well, and a lot of the time, what's coming together for me is throughout the day while we're working. You may have just some lyrics pop in your head, or you may just think about life in general, something that's happened to you, or something that's happened that day. And I find that I'm constantly humming throughout the day. A lyric or a melody will get stuck in my head, and I tend to put a phone memo down with it, and that way I don't forget it. I can go home at the end of the day, and I'll tend to work with that. So
that's very, very clever. And how many instruments do you actually play, Aaron?
Look, I would say I'm what you call a non-proficient musician, and that I can play a bit of piano, a bit of guitar, and I took trumpet growing up. So, but I'm not what you call proficient in any of them.
Oh, fair enough.
Enough to write my songs, and that's about it.
Yeah, but you're a real, and for the listeners out there who may or may not have seen you live, you are a real showman on the stage. So I don't think you need to have an instrument in your hand, because you put on such a...
Look, we've all talked about do I pick up a guitar and do I incorporate a guitar and as is, but I think we've got such fine musicians anyway.
You do.
It's not really required, and part of the show for me, and the fun of the show, is being able to move around and being able to get out where I'm at without being hindered by the guitar on stage and being stuck there. So I think it's, for me, I prefer to sing without the guitar, and it helps me enjoy the show more, I think.
Hey, Aaron, can you just say guitar a couple more times for me?
Guitar.
Oh, geez. We're giving away one of your CDs in our competition today, Aaron, the CD Leaving Here, which is what I play all the time. And this is going to be my quiz question, so people need to pay attention. I'm going to ask you the question. Where were you born, Aaron?
I was born in Tennessee.
Now, you have to say that again, because I just lost you then.
Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Very good. That's the quiz question. So for the first person who actually Facebooks me or rings me in after the interview with that answer, is going to get one of your CDs today, because I play it all the time. I think it's great. Now, tell me, you guys have done a lot of touring, as I said in my intro. Now, I'm very I'm very interested to ask you, when bands tour a lot, how does that... You have a family, and
I do. I've got 3 kids and my wife. Yep.
And how does that dynamic work when you're on tour all the time? You know, is that something that they're okay with, or do you take them on tour with you?
Look, I think in we have a person that plays in a band that does a bit of touring like that, they'd probably know exactly what I'm talking about. It's something that I think they have to adjust to. They have to adjust to.
We may have lost him. All right, I'll just pop you on hold for a moment, and we'll come back to Aaron. Hopefully I'll play another one of his tunes and we'll come back to him. I did speak to him in the break, and he has told me that his favourite song off this album is this song, and it's called Leaving Here.
For most of my life, my body's feeling broken, not a day goes by. I don't ask myself, what the hell are you doing here? Been my back for 20 long years, my hands have bled and I've held back tears that I know a grown man ain't supposed to cry. That's why leaving here tomorrow should be miss the life that brought me to my knees. What's kept me here so long, I'd say, this chance that change would come my way. But I turned my back in search of a better day. Yeah. 5 years on, my name's on a door in a modern city high-rise on the 27th floor. I'm living a kind of life we all dream about. Yeah, but happiness can't be found like this. The same old lie with a different twist. I've fooled everyone, I'm not fooling me. That's why leaving here tomorrow won't be easy. Going back again just might hold the key to all the things I'm running from, who I want to be, what I've become. Well, I just might find that the answer lies with me. Been out of shape for all these years, and everything and everyone, the tangled mess I made of my life. I've thrown the devil's bottle down, the second chance has come around. Wasted time, time to make it up. Leaving here my road easy. I've been laid to rest, brought me to my knees. Years of lies and compromise, now I see the world different eyes. Every step I take just makes for a better day. Yeah. Every step every step that I take. Na, na, na.
Oh, yes, that is Aaron's favourite track off the album. Leaving Here is the name of the CD. The song, also called Leaving Here. We've managed to get the man back on the phone. You there, bud?
Yes, Kyle.
Good man. Now, we were talking before about families and touring, and we did miss the last little bit of it. So just to reiterate again, you said, so, you know, if you marry a muso and you have kids, I guess that's the life that you take on, don't you, when you hook up with
Dave, I guess it's very hard for anybody's partner, I guess, to take that part away if it's something that you've done for many years in your life. So I think you have to try and work in with each other so the time you do have with them is quality time, and they're saying that they're very much as important a part of your life as your music is as well.
Yeah, cool. It's a balancing act, really, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And look, obviously, a contract as well with 4 employees, so between the 3 of them, it's definitely a juggling act.
Yeah. Now, does your wife, Aaron, does she get involved in the music part? Like, if you've written a song or you've recorded a new song, do you play it to her, and does she sort of say, yep, that works, or no, we could tweak it here and there? Does she get that involved in your work?
So much involved. She's probably my biggest critic. As far she's the one who'll tell me, no, it's terrible, or it's something to work on.
She doesn't say it like that, does she, Aaron?
I'm sorry?
Does she actually say it like that?
Yeah, she's usually she's the one who will pretty much, I can get a bit of a radar reading off of whether I'm headed in the right direction with a song or not.
That's great. That's really good. Now, I was just having a bit more of a read over your bio here, and you've got 2 songs that have been used as soundtracks for a movie, I believe. Tell me about that.
There was a movie called Shadows of the Past. I believe they changed the name for the overseas version when I was in the States and was touring with the Radio Association there through Texas. But basically, Long Hard Road and Leaving Here were both used on the compilation for that, or the soundtrack for that movie. It was a movie in Queensland.
In Queensland, yep.
Basically a bull riding film.
Oh, wow.
A bit of cameo appearance in as well, which was a bit of fun. So it was about 2 days worth of shooting we had. They flew us up there. 2 days going from location to location and many late nights, and then back home. So it was a bit of a whirlwind weekend, but well worth doing and a lot of fun. And we've had a
That's really good. That's and you know, a lot of artists don't get those type of opportunities. You know, they can play all their lives and not get an opportunity like that. So it's incredible for you guys to be able to be in that process and have your songs played on something that big. You know, it's phenomenal for you. Now, also, you guys have won quite a lot of awards here, I see. Tamworth Music Festival Achievements, Aristocrat Entertainer of the Year, Tompkins Guitar Picker of the Year for Dan Ebles. Nomination for Best Group in Tamworth Independent Artist Recognition Awards, Tiaras. Winner of the Coca-Cola Battle of the Bands. Winner of the West League's Battle of the Country Bands. The Tompkins Guitar Picker of the Year for a second year for Dan Ebles. Winner of the Tui's Battles of the Band. My goodness, you must have a big mantelpiece.
Look, it was. I think a lot of the awards there are there at Tamworth as well. And look, we've been doing Tamworth for 8 years now. I think we've only missed one Tamworth festival during that period.
Yep.
But it's. I think we sort of showcased ourselves out of the awards section up there. We'd sort of won most of the awards that we could enter in, and we just enjoy the heck out of ourselves playing up there now. So. We had a great year this last year, and I believe we played 10 or 11 shows.
Wow.
And some packed audiences up there this year. It was a big improvement on the year before.
That's a lot of shows, isn't it? You know, that's literally a show every single day. And I've seen your shows, and I've seen quite a few of them. They're very energetic, power-packed.
Yeah, they're a little bit taxing, Kylie, to say the least. I think by the time the final show runs around, I said to everybody, it's about, I reckon, about 4 or 5 shows in, you're 70%.
Yeah, and
for some reason you tend to come up for the show, and then once you stop talking and the vocal cords go cold, you'll be less the following day.
Yeah, so you've got to really, I guess you've got to really take care of yourself. And, like, playing under all those lights as well, it must really knock you around. And Tamworth at that time of year is extremely hot anyway.
Especially Tamworth. The last few years haven't been too bad as far as the heat goes, but I remember some years in Tamworth that it was so hot, like 40 degrees. And on stage as well. I mean, there's times where you're hitting high sections in songs that you feel like you're going to pass out. So... and not to mention the sweat. I mean, you're sweating copious amounts of fluid up there, and if you don't keep the fluids up, the cramping and everything else that sets in during and after the show. So it's a bit of fun all around. Yeah,
I never thought of that actually, like the sweating and then, like you said, cramping. I mean, that's got to be a downside to doing back-to-back shows in those sort of circumstances.
Well, anybody that's seen our shows would know that the lead singer on stage after the time he comes off. So
yeah. Now that's cool. Now I was going to ask you another song here too. Another question. Sorry, "The Dog You Kick" on that album is an interesting song, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's a good fun song. We have a blast doing that one. It was in a story that Dave Watson, our rhythm guitarist, was telling us about how it was put together. That was another one that was actually put together in about, I'd say 3 or 4 hours. It was written in one night. But
that's
just a good fun song. It just sort of fell into place without too much effort. So,
yeah, that's awesome. And you guys have made a video clip, which aired on Rage and CMC on Foxtel for The Long Hard Road. So that would have been a lot of fun making a video.
Yes, it was. Yeah, the whole making a video process is it's good fun. We'd love to go in and do it again. It's a bit of a different process, I guess, to the recording side because they're two separate sort of things. One's done before the other. But yeah, we had a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah, cool. And just one final question before I let you get back to work. Being born in the States, you would have been, you would have country rock abound everywhere, all around you. And
yeah.
But is there other music genres that have influenced you and how the Aaron Daniels Band are? Like, as I read earlier on, there's a bit of blues in there, there's a bit of everything in there. So what are the bands that have influenced you that have gone into the making?
There's a whole bunch of different music I listen to, but I grew up listening to a lot of the 60s and 70s rock and roll as well. And there's a fair bit of influence there. There's bands like Creedence, were one of my favourite older bands.
Sweet.
But then, I mean, newer, more modern bands like the Smashing Pumpkins and, Nirvana was a big thing for me back when I was in my teenage years. So I guess you could say that over the years, you take bits and pieces of those different genres, and they always stick with it. There's no set pattern to the songs that we write. We don't go into it saying, "Oh, it's got to sound country," or "It's got to be a country song."
Yep.
We write it with the idea that, yes, we're a country band, and I love the country influence.
For sure.
But it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a country song. We just put a country twist on it.
Yeah, sweet. That makes a lot of sense to me. So, Aaron, it's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, my friend.
Pleasure's all mine, Kylie.
You're a good man. So with the, you said you're sort of looking at the songwriting thing now. We might have an album out, when do you think? Maybe next year somewhere?
Yeah, look, we're hoping early next year. We should have another 9 or 10 songs together. So, I mean, we're so far in the process, we've got 5 are just about finished. So we're hoping that's the go. I think it's about time we got an album out. We also got busy with, there's a few of us started our own businesses a couple of years back, and the songwriting sort of fell off, and it was just more playing the ones that we've done and a mixture of your covers as well. So I think we've got the itchy feet, and we're wanting to actually get that next album out. There's nothing better, Kylie, than seeing an album come out.
I know.
And being able to play those new songs as well. So,
and I can tell you there's nothing better for me than to get a new Aaron Daniels CD.
Yeah. Fantastic.
All right, mate. Take care. It's as I said, it's been a pleasure to talk to you, and we'll keep in touch. Thank you again, and enjoy the rest of your day, mate.
No worries. Thank you, Kylie.
Take care, buddy.
Bye-bye.
Okay, there he is. Didn't I tell you he has a lovely voice and you can listen to that man speak all day? And if my show went for 24 hours, I'd probably just talk to Aaron for 24 hours as well. Back after the break, you're listening to Rock That Country with Kylz on Today's Country 94.1.